CIL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate.
Our house in the middle of our street.
And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Fern Northcutt, and Tom Lucas.
Good morning. Welcome to the On-Air Open House. It's Tom Lucas with you. Bill Macklem, you're back from Calgary. Somebody
from Calgary.
Somebody was listening to the show last week and said, Brother Bill is heading to Calgary. You had a good time, eh?
It was an 11-hour drive.
Wow.
Each way.
And you survived, and that's the important thing.
Exactly.
You brought the Macklem Cup back into the station with you?
Cup is looking pretty good.
Yeah, you look pretty good with that, too.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Fern, next year we're getting you a cup, too, for services rendered. Real estate real estate services, Fern. Come on, real estate services.
Hey, well, my mind went there immediately.
I know. Hey, listen, tomorrow is the big game. It's Super Bowl 50, as you both know, but let's play a little game. We played this on the morning show this past week with my traffic guy, Kim. Oh. He was just useless at this. But we're going to ask you guys these questions here. Tomorrow, of course, the big game is on, and we're talking about Americans here, okay? Yes. Not Canadians, but Americans. We want to know, how many pounds of bacon will they eat tomorrow during the game? 12,500,000 pounds of bacon.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Potato chips, Fern. 11,200,000 pounds of potato chips.
Really?
You into turkey? Yeah, and 1.23 million chicken wings.
Okay, how many beers?
That's a lot of chickens.
You finally got to the good part. Do you want to know how many what? How many beers? 325 million gallons.
Oh, my God.
Of beer. So that's on the old imperial thing. So I think that's a lot, eh, Bill? Or is that just enough for maybe one meal?
Well, it depends on how many people you got coming to the meal.
Next thing is, who do you pick for the game, Bill?
My heart says Denver.
Okay. And Fern, do you have any choice?
I just picked the winning team.
What I do is I just pick the team with the nicest uniform.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they usually use. Hey, it's Radio Real Estate Show. Bill Macklem, the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, is back. He's the resident mortgage expert on the program. He has the weekly mortgage rate update in just a few minutes. I hear rates are going down a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
That's good news. Also, what else is going on there, Fern?
Bill also answers your mortgage question of the week in a few minutes.
And later on the show, we're going to be talking about interest rates and why they're moving down.
Our radio real estate home handyman, Finn Jensen, is here this morning, and he says builders and contractors keep coming up with new ideas.
And Monica Dina Obriga, the president and founder of Mommy Maids, will be on the show this morning with her tip of the week. And this morning, she's going to be talking to us about septic-safe cleaning products.
What a good idea.
And we'll be talking about real estate on the home front, and we'll also take a look at a celebrity's home that's up for sale in Hollywood.
Wow, I can't wait for that. So Bill's mortgage question of the week is coming up, and if you have a question for Bill, leave it on our website, RadioRealEstateShow.ca, RadioRealEstateShow.ca, and Bill will answer it on next weekend's show.
And don't forget that Don Mortimer of the Remax Crest West Side Realty will be on the show this morning. He's going to talk to us about how things are looking in the Metro Vancouver real estate market. It's the Radio Real Estate Show, and time now for the weekly mortgage rate update with our president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Bill Macklem is in the studio. And Bill, you were just alluded to it, but you said rates have gone down a bit?
Yes. Oh. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So they rose. Oh, I'll get that in my next section. Let's just talk about what the rates are doing. So right now, the 5-year rate is dropped down to 2.59, maybe down to 2.54 with some of the special lenders that we have out there, and a variable is still at about 2.2. So that's about 5 off, anywhere from 4 to 5 off on the prime. So, and again, some rates are more special than others because you got to adhere to some special rules. Mm-hmm. So we can talk about that later.
So what's more important are the rules, not necessarily the rate.
Exactly.
All right. Well, coming up in the next segment of the program, Bill will be answering the mortgage question of the week. And later on, we'll be chatting about some celebrity properties that are for sale in the States down there in Hollywood. And then we're going to speak with Monica Dina Obriga. She is the president of Mommy Maids, and she's going to be on the show this week. She has some great cleaning tips. This morning, Monica is going to chat to us about some septic-safe cleaning products. You're listening to the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy, CL 650. It's Vancouver's original on-air open house, and we have more coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Monica from Mommy Maids. We're here to help you with all your cleaning needs, including move-in, move-outs, packing and unpacking, organizing, laundry and windows, walls, basic cleaning, and custom cleaning. We do it all. You deserve a break, and Mommy Maids can help. Let us clean your castle with no hassle. Call 604-5...
Hey, Fern, can you hear me there? Fern, you there?
To give the best rates on renewal. Most people will not change lenders due to the hassle factor. Let us do the shopping for you. Call Dominion Macklin Mortgages today.
CL 650.
We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Okay, we get stacks and stacks of letters. We have a great letter come in from Bill Macklin this week. It says, we see you're back from the Calgary hockey tournament. We love the sweater, Bill.
Thank you very much.
The flames all over it, huh?
No.
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 Bill would never do
I'm
that.
a true blue.
Be careful.
Where are we? We're Vancouver.
Okay, it's 10 after 6. Fern, are you there? Do you have the question for Bill this week?
10 after 6.
Yeah.
This week's question comes from Michael Poluxon of Nanaimo. Michael says, you mentioned the difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification. I'm wondering how long it would take for a pre-approval and how long it's good for.
Well, that's a good question. Thanks, Fern. Michael, that's a good question. You probably heard last week that we talked about the difference between pre-approvals and pre-qualification. Pre-qualification says, oh, you make that much money? This is what you can afford. Whereas the pre-approval is something we've done in terms of pulling your credit check. We've actually talked to you and received from you your employment letter, your pay stub, your down payment verification. We've done a full underwriting so that we know that you actually can get approved for this mortgage. That rate hold is good for 90 days if you're with a credit union, 120 days with a bank or what we call one of the virtual lenders. That is a rate hold. So the rate hold means that that's how long that rate is good for. If you do not find your home, which is likely in this market, in that 90 to 120 days, then we resubmit it so that what happens in that case, we actually book the rate again for another 90 to 120 days. And we keep on doing that until such time as you find the home that you want.
So would that be based on what the rate is down the road?
Exactly.
It is,
so,
okay.
So let's say you had a rate hold back in November, and as of the 1st of February, it's now no longer valid because the rate hold time period is gone. So then we resubmit it to the lender to rebook the rate.
That could actually come into your advantage every once in a while if the rates go down.
Absolutely.
Right? Good stuff. So Fern, if somebody wants to get a hold...
Yeah, I've got a quick question there, Bill. That is it still the rule that if you apply for a mortgage today, let's say, and your rate, it goes for 180 days, and if, let's say, 179 days, then the mortgage rates go down. You get that lower rate, do you not?
If you have a good broker, you will. I'm sorry, though, it's not 180, it's 120 days.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
It's 4 months.
4 months. Okay. I can't even count.
That's all right. That's why I hear the mortgage broker. That's why people use us.
That's what it's all about. So for mortgage information that is from an expert online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, mac.com, or call Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
It's 9 minutes after 10, 10:09 on the Radio Real Estate Show. And coming up in just a few seconds, we'll be taking a look at the home of a celebrity that is up for sale in Hollywood.
In Hollywood. Wow. This is for Northcott of Remax Performance with mortgage expert Bill Macklin, president of Dominion Macklin Mortgage. Producer Dwayne Bishop and Tom Lucas, you're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott from Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you.
Real estate is the greatest investment you will ever make. Approach it as an adventure, financially and emotionally without mistakes. I have a plan for making your real estate investments work for you. Call or text me, Fern Northcott, at 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
Good morning, it's Tom Lucas from the Radio Real Estate Show. My mechanical guru is on the phone with me, my master of mechanics, Mr. Mike Farkas at North Vancouver Nissan. Good morning.
That's great.
You've never been called that before, have you?
I've done many things, but not a guru. But that's okay. I like that.
It's a Super Bowl weekend. You have some tips about hydroplaning.
As the tires wear on your car or truck, they lose grip. Rather than channel the water away, they ride on top of it. So we recommend that you have your tires checked regularly.
Call my friend Mike of North Vancouver Nissan or go online to northvancouvernissan.com.
Hey, it's Preston from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. At Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations, we're more than just painting. As you can guess from our name, we do renovations too. Kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, offices, whatever your renovation needs are, Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations is here for you. Call for your estimate now, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. We all need specific types of mortgage financing. You may have bought your next home and not sold your current place. We have financing for that. You may not be able to prove your income for the mortgage you require. We have a lender for that. Call us, Dominion Macklem Mortgages today, 604-684-4663, 604-684-HOME.
Vancouver weather.
Clouds and showers in the forecast for this morning. They shall disappear a little later on today with the expected high of about 8 degrees now tonight and Super Bowl Sunday and Holiday Monday, William.
Well, it's going to be a little cloudy, 40% chance of showers in the afternoon, so that'll be a good excuse to go in and watch some television with a high of 8. And on Monday, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 11.
It's 5 degrees right now on the Radio Real Estate Show.
CI 650.
Oh, good Lord, we got a house for sale. Yes, we do. People are buying homes up, but they're going out of style, especially here in the West Coast, right?
Absolutely. Unbelievable.
But down in the States, it's pretty much the same thing. We have some famous actors and actresses selling their homes.
Really?
And we have a little report for you right now. So listen, pay close attention to this, then we'll talk about it.
1920s charm and Hollywood appeal come together in this two-story home belonging to reality starlet Lauren Conrad. The actress and her glamorous Hollywood Hills home were both prominently featured in the hit TV series The Hills. Hollywood Hills is home to many of LA's biggest stars. Overlooking Hollywood and close to famed Sunset Strip where celebs go to play, it's one of the most coveted and glamorous parts of town. Recently remodeled inside and out, the 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home blends high-end finishes with the wealth of the home's original features.
There's a lot of great character to the house because of its originality from the 20s. You know, you've got the coved ceilings, you've got the traditional tiles, you've got the moldings and the wrought iron. You've got a lot of great features from the 20s, but with a new world, modern vibe.
From the secluded courtyard, you enter into a world of elegance. Step down into the living room and your eyes are drawn to the fireplace.
The living room fireplace is more of a traditional fireplace with the marble hearth and the aged wood on it. It's a beautiful fireplace and the focus of the living room.
Gleaming hardwood floors and barreled ceilings complete the authentic 1920s look of the space. Off the living room, a spacious formal dining room is the perfect spot for hosting extravagant dinner parties. In the Eden's Chef's kitchen, you'll find top-of-the-line stainless steel appliances, custom cabinetry, and luxurious stone countertops. From the kitchen, you can step into the charming sunroom with its traditional Spanish floor tiles and wall of windows that look out to the lush backyard.
The one part Lauren really loved was she loved how the windows and doors open up on the whole property and just the feeling of openness with still being so private.
In the master bedroom is a second fireplace, perfect for warming up on chilly nights. Elegant details give the room an air of classic charm. Step out onto the room's private balcony for another view of the secluded backyard. The oversized master bath is one of Lauren's favorite parts of the home. Tastefully renovated while keeping its vintage charm, the master bath includes Carrara marble throughout and an elegant freestanding tub. Outside, you'll find a lush private escape that's been the scene of many a Hollywood party. You can get cozy by the brick patio's built-in fireplace or lounge by the serene pool.
I think the backyard is a very peaceful oasis. It's beautifully done. The fountains, the pool, it just makes you want to sit there and relax all day, whether it's reading a book or laying in the sun.
Adjacent to the main house, French doors lead you into the detached guest house where you'll find a sitting area, bedroom, and full bath.
This is the guest house where Audrina stayed during the filming of The Hills. It's so versatile, it can be used in any way, and having it set up as a game room right now with a pool table and all of that, it really makes a great entertaining space.
This walled and gated home is totally private and secured by a top-of-the-line surveillance system. With its old Hollywood charm and modern updates, this home, which is set on one of Hollywood's most coveted streets, is the perfect place to host your own glamorous parties or retreat to at the end of a busy LA day.
So I'm thinking, Bill, if we want to make an offer on that place we call Fern, she goes and makes an offer for us. What do you think? It's Lauren Conrad's house. Now also Conrad Black.
You know what?
What's place for sale too? No, what?
I think I'm kind of missing it there. Did she say a price?
No. That's why we have
so.
that's why we have you on the show, because we're going to make an offer.
Hey, I'll know within the next 5 minutes what it's listed
That's
for.
what I like about you, Fern. You're on the spot. So that was
I do my best.
While we were talking with Lauren and hearing from Lauren, Bill was looking at some things, some prices of houses are still going up on the West Coast. Can that be true?
That's absolutely true. In fact, here's a comment from the Bank of Montreal. An influx of workers returning to Ontario and BC from Alberta or other parts of the country hit by the resource slump are reinforcing price pressure, some suggest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems we have, though, on our comparative analysis at all times between Toronto and Vancouver, when people talk about Vancouver, you never know whether they're talking about Vancouver the city or Vancouver the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes,
so
that's right.
So when you hear that they're talking about a $2.2 million knockdown, they're not talking about Abbotsford or White Rock or Burnaby or Coquitlam. They're talking about downtown Vancouver, the city of Vancouver. And so this information is always skewed. And so when you hear about Toronto, now Toronto, when they talk about their prices, let me just check here. The Toronto prices, for example, they're talking about detached homes increasing by 20.9%. They're talking about in the suburbs, and they actually give you a direction of where that suburb is, so you know exactly what they're talking about.
So like a Richmond Hill or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is 905, so I think it is Richmond Hill.
Good guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good guess.
And getting back to the Fraser Valley rather than Vancouver too, not to scare people off, but just to tell you that at the end of December going into the new year, the median price for a single family home in the Fraser Valley, which includes North Delta Surrey, Langley, parts of South Surrey, and out that way is $649,000. So when you're talking about a knockdown with over $1 million, yes, that is in Vancouver. It's a smaller lot, et cetera, but the median price is still $649,000.
You know, I was talking to a couple of first-time buyers yesterday. They said the only place now that they could actually get a home is be out in Abbotsford or Chilliwack.
A lot of times, yes.
Yeah.
And if they have to commute to Vancouver, like our guy said on our guest said a couple of weeks ago, that Squamish looks like a good deal too. So hey, keep an open mind.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and crotchety, but I don't want to be driving that far every day. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I know, but you live in White Rock. That's a different story.
Never mind.
Well, the other thing that we got to think about as well is that, so when we do all this price comparison all the time, if you're talking about Richmond Hill or you're talking about a Newmarket, I mean, that's no difference in terms of distance from downtown Toronto to Newmarket than is from downtown Vancouver to Abbotsford. We're talking about the same distances, but we don't seem to want to make the same price comparisons, because I'm sure that Newmarket is more expensive than Abbotsford.
Well, this is true, but we also have to look at transportation, and this is an opening rant for you, Bill, that our transportation in the Lower Fraser Valley, I mean, you live in Toronto, you live in Calgary, you live in Edmonton, and the city is in the hub, and development goes out in a circular. We have one way to develop, it's a funnel up the valley, and we don't have an awful lot of transportation getting into Vancouver, meeting people's needs.
Well, the transportation system is set up so that they all feed into Vancouver, but Vancouver doesn't really want us. That's why they're going to take down the viaduct so that you can't get in there, so you can't support the
they might be making a park out of those viaducts.
Well, I know, but
come on.
But all roads lead to Vancouver.
All roads lead to the parks.
Exactly. So how come there's no
all
north-south?
roads lead to Rome.
How about north-south routes?
She's right. my God.
Yeah.
19 after
Well,
10.
you know what, too, that, of course, I live in I call it the Southern Corridor, like you do, Tom, like you do as well, Bill, is that when they opened the Alex Fraser Bridge way back in 1986, living in Panorama Ridge and now Cloverdale area, that I have two options. You know, if I'm driving to Vancouver, and of course, almost always I drive unless I'm going to the theater, that then I have two routes to go. So I can either go through the tunnel or I can go through the Alex Fraser, and I can pick and choose, and I listen to the radio where the accidents are and then avoid them.
Good stuff.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that.
you live up in Fraser Glen or any of those areas, and really the only feasible way is to go over the Port Mann. Number one, you got the tolls. Number two, you still have congestion.
Absolutely.
All right, now here's another story that came across the wire this past week, and you folks, I'll ask you to make some comment on it. We can take it for what it's worth, or not take it for what it's worth, or take it for what it's worth, or whatever. But the story says the dominant influence of Chinese investors in Vancouver has finally been proven with comprehensive data. The self-declared occupations among owners of homes valued at $3.5 million, 36% was housewife or student with little income. Explain that to me.
Well, that's what you talk about moving money from one country to another country.
I see. Also, 18% of the 172 homes purchased was not mortgaged by a bank, which means that roughly $100 million in questionable cash was poured into Vancouver's west side between August 2014 and February 2015, much of it in the form coming from China.
Yeah. Yeah, moving money from there to here, and
the total value of all the houses being sold, it was $525 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of houses, and yeah. Okay. So what do you think? You think it's true?
Well, probably one of the things that I'm noticing is that with the amount of money that's coming into our country, which is not probably a bad thing because it's actually going to help our economy because there are Canadians that are getting this money for these homes, so this $525 million is being spread within our economy. So there is a multiplier effect on that, which is a good thing. So you want that to happen. Obviously, you do not want to have questionable cash. You want to have it verified cash coming into the country. And apparently our banks are such that they do all the compliance that they have to do to make sure this money is properly accounted for.
Wouldn't FinTrack want to know if I had $500,000 in my pocket, where it came from?
They do. And not only that, but so let's say that you're from another country. Let's say you're from Taiwan or from wherever you are, and you're going to buy a home here. And so we have to prove that you have the $150,000 or $200,000 or $1 million in your account. Not only in Canada, we have to show that it's actually available to you in the country of origin. So that has to be verified. Then you transfer the money into Canada, we have to verify that. But we're doing that from a mortgage brokering side. We have to verify that money is here in Canada. You cannot bring more than $10,000 into this country without having it verified by somebody else. So you got home loans, people that look after all our, verifiable information. They're watching to see how this money comes in. Then we have to do it again when we do it for mortgage purposes. So that has to get verified again. So I'm always questioning about how when people say questionable money, if the money comes into our country, it has to be vetted through our whole system. And I don't know how you can get by that with all the compliance issues.
Nobody ever break the law, though, right? Of course not.
Well, of course not.
So, Bill, you mentioned the word FinTrack. I wonder if you can explain to some of our audience out there that doesn't know what FinTrack is.
FinTrack is federal government, and what they have to do is they have to look after where the money comes from. They have to verify that the money is actually clean. So it's a process.
And that, what I found is that applies to all businesses. Of course, it applies in mine. Whenever I take a listing or I draw up an offer for somebody, I have to have them fill in what's called a FinTrack form, and that's got to be sent off outside. I have a real estate board and also with the federal government that I have to disclose, not where the money is from, but I have to see that's pictured. So it's all registered with the federal government. But the other thing that with the new FinTrack that has come up, I have to fill in the form where I have to determine whether the people, if in my opinion, have criminal intent or not. Give me a break. Right.
Yeah. Now you deal with a lot of international buyers, right, Finn?
I deal with a fair amount of international buyers, yes, but my mainstream is families here that are relocating within our area or relocating, let's say, to Toronto or anywhere around the world, because, of course, that's RE/MAX's referral program.
Mm-hmm.
But I deal with more of your down-to-earth, everyday Joe and Jane.
So when they're deciding to make the move to Canada, they're talking to Fern Northcott. What sort of things are they asking you, Fern, if you've never been here before?
They're asking, they're asking all kinds of things. They're asking about tax structure.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking about what are good areas and what are bad areas. And if it has to do with real estate, then I will answer it. If not, then I have a team of experts like accountants and lawyers and all this kind of stuff. And I will very quickly refer any of those experts on to the expert, because I specialize in real estate. I don't specialize in the legalities. And there's so much involved nowadays, too, that, there's more and more laws that are made and all this kind of stuff. And I leave that part to the experts. Like, for instance, like with Bill, if people come to me and say, what would my mortgage payment be? My question, of course, is, well, that depends. And Bill, talk to these people, please, because there's lots of options.
There really are. And you want to make sure of that. I mean, if you have someone coming in from another country, they normally have to put down 35% if they're not landed immigrants and if they're not earning any income here, so that you have to have a minimum of 35% down.
Do they, like the old days, still have somebody to sponsor them, or is those days gone?
I guess from an immigration perspective, you might have them sponsored, but in terms of a mortgage, no, that has to be done independently.
All right, price of housing in the West Coast here is rather nifty. Do you expect it to become niftier the next little while, or do you think it's going to... Oh, you're looking at me, Bill. What do you think?
It's going up.
Is it? Yeah.
It's going up. We're not building enough houses. So there's 80,000. Correct me if I'm wrong here. For 80,000 new people coming into coming into BC every year, I believe it's 35,000 are coming into the Lower Mainland, and they're looking for homes. Where are they?
Yeah, a lot of them won't be able to afford to buy, though. A lot of them will be renting until they can get a toehold within our country. But again, we have forgotten about the baby boomers and the demand and supply and developers and the different cities in the Lower Fraser Valley that they will gear more to immigrants than they will to the demographics of our baby boomers that want to just downsize and live in a nice, comfortable, feasible home without feeling like they're living in a chicken coop.
Wouldn't that be nice? Take care of your own people first is what I say.
What a concept.
You think?
Well, but our planners are not thinking that way.
They're not thinking that way.
Anyway.
So you think that the price... The other thing I think is interesting, too, that I don't know that if I was to give Fern my house to sell, she could probably sell it tomorrow, get me the dough that I'm looking for, but then where do I go?
Exactly. And the thing is, Tom, both you in South Surrey, White Rock area, myself in Cloverdale, you and I both live in the type of home that is totally within the demographics of what baby boomers want. So what you and I have is what they call a product. That's going to increase in price more than, let's say, a single family dwelling as the baby boomers are moving through the system. Yes.
I was going to say, I have a great idea.
Where do I move you?
A great idea, Fern. Perhaps you sell your place, I'll sell mine. We'll just move in with Bill.
I don't know if I could stand all those grandchildren.
Well, that's okay. I'll teach you how to be grandma grumpy, too. So coming up in the next segment of the Fern show, Fern, what's going on? We're going to be joined by Monica Briga, I think, right?
Yeah, we are. Monica is the president of Mommy Maids, who has this septic safe week's cleaning tips.
All right, so if you have septic pumps or tanks or whatever in your backyard, they're going to be absolutely safe. Bill, what else is going on?
More real estate information is coming right up.
All right, it's Tom Lucas with our co-host Fern Northcott of RE/MAX Performance Realty, Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer in A Control is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
Your life's too busy to be doing the things that you don't want to do. Hi, it's Monica at Mommy Maids. We'll free up your time by taking care of all your cleaning needs. We have weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or one-time special occasion plans available, including move-in and move-outs. Commercial and residential cleaning performed by bonded, insured, WCB-covered, uniform cleaning experts. You deserve a break, and Mommy Maids can help. Let us clean your castle with no hassle. Call 604-533-4959 or visit mummymaids.com.
Hi, it's Preston here from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. When you're ready to paint, call Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. We do it all. The filling, the sanding, the taping. Hey, we even clean up after ourselves. Discover what Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations can do for your home and office. Call for your estimate, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
Good morning, it's Tom Lucas from the Radio Real Estate Show. My mechanical guru is on the phone with me, my master of mechanics, Mr. Mike Farkas at North Vancouver Nissan. Good morning.
That's great.
You've never been called that before, have you?
I've done many things, but not a guru. But that's okay. I like that.
It's a Super Bowl weekend. You have some tips about hydroplaning.
As the tires wear on your car or truck, they lose grip. Rather than channel the water away, they ride on top of it. So we recommend that you have your tires checked regularly.
Call my friend Mike of North Vancouver Nissan or go online to northvancouvernissan.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. You have equity in your home. You are over 65. We have some exciting financing options for you. Purchase your second home, help your children buy their home, or set up an annuity for life. Call Dominion Macklem Mortgages at 604-684-4663, 604-684-HOME.
CL 650. The clean up woman, but she's tough. I mean, she really cleans up.
She's got her spick and span in her bag, and she's ready to go. Now, Bill, Dominion Macklem Mortgages always puts out these little nifty Today in History things on a piece of paper, and today you've got a very interesting one. What's going on today in history?
Well, today, the Yukon Quest, a 1,000-mile international sled dog race, starts on February the 6th,
which is
2016.
Today. Yeah, it's today. So they're starting that today.
Starting that.
So if you see some guy or some woman going by mushing a bunch of huskies, then don't worry about it.
No.
And you know what? That's really fun. I've been up in the Yukon in Whitehorse when they've done this.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that back in the 70s. And I got to tell you, it was one midnight party. It just went on and on and on and on. It was so much fun.
Did you go there for the racing or for the party? Come on.
Oh, well, let me see.
Never mind.
The racing.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you have the Iditarod as well, right?
Yes, that's right. 10:31.
That's the other. That's the other
race.
one.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's any information. It's
dogs, sled, mush.
Yeah, it's big.
Woof,
it's big. Holy man.
Oh, jeez. Little Bobby there did something. Got to clean up after him.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you imagine
that's why you want to be the lead dog.
Never mind being the dog, just being the poor person in the sled.
No, you want to be the lead dog because you have the best view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I want to be in the sled.
It's 10:32, and time now for the cleaning tip of the week from Monica Dina Obriga. She's the founder and the president of Mommy Maids. Monica, help! Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Normal levels of household cleaning detergents, fabric softeners, shampoos, and bath soaps are significantly diluted when they reach the septic tank, that they should not be a problem for conventional septic tanks and drain field systems. Ammonia or bleach in normally diluted quantities, such as from mopping a kitchen floor, should not be a concern. Don't dump bottles of unwanted ammonia or any other chemicals into the building drains and septic systems. But if you're doing a lot of washing using lots of bleach, consider using an oxygen bleach product, sodium percarbonate, as an alternative. However, clothes washing machines and dishwashing machine detergents commonly contain phosphates and surfactants, which are environmental contaminants. Liquid detergents are recommended in the amount specified by the manufacturer. Also, check on the bottle and use laundry detergents with lower phosphate counts, as the higher phosphate count can reduce your drain field life. Remember, common sense is the best guide. This is Monica Dinabriga for Radio Real Estate.
Saving our environment. Let Mommy Maids clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica at 604-533-4959. That's 604-533-4959. Or visit mommymaids.com. That's mommymaids.com.
Now, Fern, she was talking about septic fields there. You sell lots of homes each and every year. Do you find there are many homes out there in septic fields still?
Not so much anymore. There are certain places, Panorama Ridge, where I lived for over 30 years, we all had septics and septic fields. When you get into Brookswood area in Langley, a lot of that is septic field. But a lot of those people have had their septic fields replaced. And, that's the biggest thing. When I'm and acreages, of course, a lot of them have septic fields, that when I'm writing an offer, I always make sure that it's been approved by the city and that, that it was installed properly. And it's a whole new kettle of fish when you're selling a piece of property that's on septic. So be aware. I experiencing septic myself over 30 years. I had absolutely no problem with it whatsoever, but I did the proper things and let it perk properly.
All right, now if you're looking for yourself, find a good real estate agent, I suggest you call Fern because she's been doing this for a long time, and there's a reason why she's been doing it for a long time, because she's darn good at what she does.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm just following the script here. And so, Fern, if somebody...
That's what she wrote us.
She wrote that down there. She said, Tom, please say. So I did. So, Fern, if somebody... No, she didn't. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, Fern, how do they do it? What's the telephone number?
I can be reached at 604-790-9066. That's 604-790-9066. And if you want to email me, it's fern@smart.com. Fern with an E, smart with 2 T's.com. And if somebody needs to be pre-approved before visiting Fern, Bill, what do they do to get a hold of you?
They would call me directly at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-4663 or home.
Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen on the next thing, but I'm going to ask our producer, Dwayne, in there to press the next button that's selected here, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's the guy talking is going to be, it's music. That's good, it's music. That means we're going to talk about the greater Vancouver market with Don Mortimer. He is one of the agents over at the Powerhouse team, Crest West Side.
Really?
They're under the bridge. Broad Street Bridge, Granville Street Bridge.
Kidding.
Nice place for an office.
Whoa.
I think you and I are going down for coffee Monday.
I think so.
Maybe Tuesday. Monday's a holiday.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday. Monday is Family Day.
Monday is Family Day in BC.
Yeah, nowhere else.
No, the rest of the country has theirs the week later.
Yeah.
Which means that this Monday, if indeed you have to deal with people for business in Toronto, you'll be working.
Or Alberta. Or Manitoba.
Absolutely. And then next week, while the rest of the country is having their vacation, you'll be here in British Columbia working because you'll be dealing with British Columbia people.
Yes. So how did that happen like that?
So I ask you, Christy Clark, where the hell is the holiday, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, if you're government, you get a holiday.
Well, I'm not.
I know.
Well, you always do it. Isn't that called a permanent holiday?
I see. Thank you so much.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did. Bill, what are we going to talk about in the next portion of the program?
We're going to talk about interest rates.
Okay.
Let's talk about where things are going.
Where things are going. We know where Fern and I are going, and it's not a good place. Well, I've seen one.
Well, hey, interest rates stay down, prices go up.
If interest rates stay down, Fern, if interest rates stay down, you and I can go anywhere we want to, right?
I guess we can. Put a
All
mortgage on our place, and what can I say?
What else is coming up there, Fern?
So this is for Northcott of Remax Performance with Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house radio real estate on CIL 650.
Hi, it's Preston here from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. When you're ready to paint, call Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. We do it all. The filling, the sanding, the taping. Hey, we even clean up after ourselves. Discover what Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations can do for your home and office. Call for your estimate, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. You deserve the facts of a professional home evaluation based on the statistics of the MLS. To find out what your house is really worth, call or text me. Fern Northcott, 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
Introducing Mommy Maids, a business created out of the lack of employment opportunities for single moms with flexible working hours. From residential to commercial, you can trust their insured and bonded cleaning professionals with any task. Let them clean your castle with no hassle. Go to mummymaids.com or call 604-533-4959.
1, 2, 3, ABC. Mommy Maids come rescue me.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. With interest rates always being a topic of discussion, it is important to have a mortgage professional who will guide you. If interest rates are all you think of, I can get you a 0% interest rate if you put 100% down. Of course, with 100% down, you don't really need a mortgage. Variable rates versus fixed rates. Which one is right for you? Call Dominion Macklem Mortgages. 604-684-4663. 604-684-HOME.
Vancouver weather.
Mostly cloudy for the remainder of the day today. Then we have Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow, and then holiday Monday. On Monday, Bill. It's not much of a holiday, but what's going down?
So tomorrow we're going to have a high of 8. On Monday we're going to have a high of 11. Both days are going to be a little cloudy.
And right now it is 6 degrees on the Radio Real Estate Show.
CI 650.
Moving out.
Yeah, I'm moving out. Got myself a new place.
You did?
I did, yeah. Thanks for asking. Let's look at the Lower Mainland real estate market with Don Mortimer. Don is with Remax Crest Realty Westside. We have him on the line right now. Don, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Now, if I was a betting man, I bet you're probably going to be taking it easy tomorrow for a little while and maybe perhaps watching some football game.
That Super Bowl's going to draw a lot of attention.
Well, I know that lots of chicken wings will be eaten and lots of beer will be swilled back. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, I won't ask. So listen, before we get into the game, what about real estate in Metro Vancouver? It's still busy, right?
It's just absolutely incredible. Up 31% over the previous year.
Wow.
Listings are down 6.2, so that's not good.
We need more inventory.
That's what's making it a strong seller's market right now, and a lot of people are taking advantage of that.
Well, we know that the spring rush is coming up soon, and if people are thinking, toying with the idea of putting their house on the market, maybe they should call Don or their favorite real estate agent and get them over and talk about price-wise and what's happening out there in the market.
Absolutely. That would be wonderful. You can call me at 604-781-6000.
You beat me to the punch. I understand you have a hot Super Bowl listing for us this weekend, Donald.
I have an incredible one-bedroom top-floor condo in Surrey, 680 square feet with a 180-degree view and no neighbors looking in on you. Amenities to die for, like you're on holidays all year round. And I'll have some more details for you for next week. This is Don Mortimer with Radio Real Estate.
Put Don at Remax Crest Realty Westside to work for you. And you can call Don at 604-781-6000. That's 604-781-6000.
All right, now we picked out a very special song this morning for Mr. Bill Macklem, who's back from Calgary. You made it safe and sound. We're glad you're back, buddy.
I am too.
You drove all the way, huh?
Drove all the way.
By yourself?
By myself.
And
but
you're still awake?
I'm still awake.
Jeez. You're a better man than I thought you were.
I had a little nap outside McDonald's.
Never mind, we got a song for you. Here we go.
Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, it makes the world go round.
And as you were sleeping there in the van on the side of the road, you were thinking about money, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah.
I always think about money.
Well, mortgage brokers just don't necessarily just do mortgages, do you?
No, we do a lot of things.
You do.
I was having a talk with one of the gals at my office yesterday, later today, and said, like, most people don't realize that as a mortgage broker, you do more than just do mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
You actually become a confidant. And so what happens is that people come to you and they say, I'm thinking of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They might come to us confidentially and say, look, I'm separating from my husband. What should I do? And I'll talk with their...
You mean sometimes before the husband does that, she's taken off?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Or vice versa.
Really?
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
And so, and a lot of cases, because we have a good relationship with both of them, unless there's any kind of animosity, we actually deal with both clients.
Wow.
So we help them go through that process, and we act as kind of the sounding board and as the neutral person to make sure they go down this path, systematically and carefully.
You and Fern are braver than I am. I wouldn't dare be in the room with two people that were just planning a divorce.
I didn't say I was going to be with both of them at the same time.
Oh, I see. Well, okay.
No, you see them separately.
See them separately. It's all confidential.
Fern is braver than we are. She would see them together.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Well, you know what? It depends on the situation. And when people are splitting up, it's very unfortunate for the family, but business sort of does have to take over. So yes, I do see if it's through a divorce or sometimes we even went through a death. But I like to see the people separately, and I like to talk to them about where they're going with their lives and basically how can I help.
Interesting.
So no, we're not a we're not a marriage counselor one little bit, but we can help people get on with their lives. And Bill's correct, that a lot of times I don't necessarily know before the spouse, because of course any divorce is a long time coming, but hopefully I can have a little bit of empathy for both parties and try and make that path as easy as possible business wise.
BillyMac.com, BILLI, not a Y, not an I, .com, right?
Exactly.
BillyMac.com. You're working on a brand new website, Bill. What you
Yes,
going
we
to have
are.
on it?
Well, we've got a number of things on there. We're going to have some latest news. So one of the things that's important that's coming out that our listeners should be listening to today is the fact that there's changes to the down payment requirements. We just send this out to all our realtors and to our current client base to make sure that everybody's well aware of it again. That as of
Yeah, I
February...
received mine this week, thanks. February 15th is the deadline.
Pardon me?
February 15th is the deadline.
For what then?
For this new change.
Oh, okay.
And I received the email from Bill. Thank you very much. I appreciated that, Bill.
Yeah, it's just a little reminder, and we have to say to people, this is a reminder because we don't want people to think that we're telling them the second time as if it's the first time. So what happens is that as of the 15th, if you're buying a home that's less than $1 million, the first $500,000, you have 5% down.
Okay.
The next amount of money between the 5 and the million has to be 10% down.
Okay. Now, there's a reason for this, apparently. So.
Well, they're trying to slow down and cool off the market. But as we just heard from the Bank of Montreal, that with the Alberta market kind of not crashing, but certainly slowing down, those people are now coming home. And there's a lot of economic stuff that's going on that maybe people are not putting it together. They've heard it. They just don't understand how it works. Is that the federal government, with Martin and now with Trudeau, had announced 2 years back that they had this $100 billion shipbuilding contracts all across Canada. So you have some in Esquimalt, you have some in North Vancouver, you have some in Halifax, and you also have some in Ontario. And what's happening in Halifax is probably supersedes what's happening in the rest of the country. They're getting so much money to build ships that, to make a comparison, what's happening in Halifax is like they're going to have a Olympic Games every year for the next 30 years. And so all the people that lost their jobs in Alberta that might have migrated there from Ontario because of the car auto industry are now going to be moving back to Halifax, or certainly to the Maritimes, to take up some of these new employment opportunities. So you're going to see a real change there as well.
Now, in the news this past week, maybe you both heard the story that it seems like because of the Canadian dollar, more and more Canadians, snowbirds, are selling their properties in the States, calling their real estate agents, and looking to purchase up in Canada.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if they can get their American money out, that's what they're doing. And then, because when they sell them, then they get a little bit better on the Canadian dollar, of course. But, that you get through anywhere in the States except San Francisco and some of the larger centers, that a lot of snowbirds that bought properties in Phoenix or across the, all the way along the American-Mexican border. That if we have, they're mainly Canadians there, and if they're all going to be selling their properties, or there's a big glut on the market of Canadian-owned properties, then that depresses that market too. So some people are hanging on, some people are renting out, but yes, it's a major effect right now, especially in people's minds with the dollar, the difference between the U.S. and Canadian dollar.
So what do the Canadian snowbirds do then? They sell their places in the States. Now, they either come back to Canada, buy a new property, which of course they can't, or continue to live in their tin can or in their home if they happen to have one, right?
Pretty much.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But now they can rent down the States because they made a 40%, exchange rate, so they've made a 40% profit. Hopefully, when they bought the house 5, 7, 8 years ago, it was or condo or whatever they bought was at a certain price, and now that price is starting to rise. And so, like Fern says, if there's not a glut of those things going on sale all at the same time, then they might see some increase in value there as well. So this might be a really good time to make that move.
See, Fern, I said tin can because I was just pulling Fern's leg a little bit because I know that she likes to travel and you like to do a lot of camping, don't you?
I was trying to ignore that.
I know
they
you were.
are not called tin cans.
I know
they
not.
are called a motor home.
Motor home. Sorry, yes. So anybody listening to us in a motor home this morning, Finn will be on the show later, but Fern will have a place where you can. Finn's thinking of us. Fern will have a place where you can park that motor home, right, Fern?
Well, that's the thing. And you know what's happening, too, because of the Canadian dollar, et cetera, up until the last little while, too, people, if they're selling and want to become a snowbird, they're putting that money, and it was better to buy an RV in the States, put your money there, and then bring it back to Canada. But now this is going to be a real help for Canadian dealerships that people are pulling money out of their homes, whether their investment in the States or whatever, putting it in Canadian dollars and putting their money into a home on wheels. Because, by the time, if you decide if the dollar changes or the environment changes or whatever the heck changes, you can pull out your electrical cord and just move on.
I've often, Fern, to tell you the truth, I've often thought of, excuse me, selling everything, buying one of those great big mobile homes that's bigger than a bus. I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought, if I run this thing off the road, there goes my whole life. Maybe me with it.
Yeah, but
Well, the thing is that you have it insured to the hilt
Oh, yeah.
for that reason.
Uh-huh.
You take lots of education before you get one of these buses, and the big ones are called a Prevost.
Okay.
But,
They're
yes, I
fabulous.
think that a lot of the listening audience know that I have my own motorhome, and I like to tootle around and explore the countryside. The only thing is that my mind goes right back to there's no way that I could sell my real estate and invest it in a big Prevost. Probably cost the same as what it would be to sell my townhouse. But, I can't put all my eggs in one basket. So, I would far rather pull a little, if I had clear title, well, I do, but, clear title home and you really want to go buy a toy here or there, then put some money against your home and buy that toy you've always wanted and get on the road.
I love your attitude. What's coming up in the next segment of the program, Mr. William?
Well, the next segment, we're going to hear from Radio Real Estate home handyman Finn Jensen again. And we've been talking about him off and on all afternoon here, all morning.
Well, it seems like it's all afternoon.
Well, I heard it's 6 after 10 or 10 after 6.
I mentioned his name twice, so
it's time of the season when builders and contractors have some new ideas for you and your home.
New ideas? I could use a few new ideas. Good morning, it's Tom Lucas with our co-host Fern Northcott of RE/MAX Performance Realty, Bill Macklem, who is president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
Hey, it's Preston from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. At Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations, we're more than just painting. As you can guess from our name, we do renovations too. Kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, offices, whatever your renovation needs are, Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations is here for you. Call for your estimate now, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
Good morning, it's Tom Lucas from the Radio Real Estate Show. My mechanical guru is on the phone with me, my master of mechanics, Mr. Mike Farkas at North Vancouver Nissan. Good morning.
That's great.
You've never been called that before, have you?
I've done many things, but not a guru. But that's okay. I like that.
It's a Super Bowl weekend. You have some tips about hydroplaning.
As the tires wear on your car or truck, they lose grip. Rather than channel the water away, they ride on top of it. So we recommend that you have your tires checked regularly.
Call my friend Mike of North Vancouver Nissan or go online to northvancouvernissan.com.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott of RE/MAX Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. Baby boomers move for various reasons. Perhaps your home is just too big, or you want to buy that toy you always wanted. Together, we will make that happen. Call or text me, Fern Northcott, 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
CIL 650.
I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
Well, for some strange reason, we've been talking about Finn for quite some time now. Not a whole lot, just saying his name. Finn Jensen.
But he's always on our mind because you know what? He is the fella that saves our bacon.
You're kidding.
No,
you're absolutely right. But I need somebody like Finn. I call him. He goes, "What do you want now, Tom?"
Exactly.
Well, he knows me. Right?
But at least he's there.
Yeah, he's there for me, but it's the abuse I'm taking. But anyway, if you call Finn, he will not abuse you. But he's got something very interesting on his mind right now, don't you, Finn? Good morning.
Good morning, Tom, and good morning, everyone. The builders and contractors keep regaling us with new ideas and products. Just when we think that the latest wrinkle is the last, they pull another out of the hat. Evidently, these boys have deep hats. So how is all this innovation received? Is it popular with the majority of the home buyers, or is there resistance? It's not hard to imagine that the more mature customers would consider some of it unnecessary, having come from more traditional environments. But enough of them must be sufficiently interested because much of the housing stock goes to them. And also, interestingly, quite a bit of the older variety is snapped up by the more useful set. They will paint and scrape and dig until those old-timers look better than new, sometimes to the point where someone can't tell whether it's a reno or a recent build. That's how it is when it comes to housing. Even experienced sales staff is unable to tell which way things will go when it comes to people's wishes and imaginations. Perhaps that is a component in Vancouver's success story. Different kinds of people with ideas, seeing plenty of opportunities regardless of whether it's for business or like the majority of residents for whom it's a sacred investment. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
Let Finn take care of all your plumbing and heating needs. For fast, reliable, and dependable service, call Finn at Gentech Mechanical Installations, 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. It's 10:54 of the Radio Real Estate Show. This is sort of like a bus going down the street, this program. There's always some new people getting on, and they go, Bill Macklem for Northcote. Sound like nice people, but I'd like to know a little bit more about them. Bill, give me some history. How long have you been doing this? How did you get into the mortgage industry?
I actually moved to Alberta, and no one would hire me, and I knew how to do financial calculations. And so I've got a job with Intergroup Mortgages, and started as a mortgage broker then. About 7 years later, RE/MAX came along and said, we're looking for someone for a mortgage broker in the Valley for Vancouver here. And I said, if it's close to water, I'm yours. And it was. So I moved into Ladner, and then the Tsawwassen areas where my mom and dad lived, my sister and brother-in-law lived. And then we took the rest of the Valley. So I looked after the RE/MAX offices in the Valley. I started off with RE/MAX Performance, which is where Fern works, and RE/MAX 2000, which is up in Guildford. And then I got some RE/MAX offices at Little Oak out in sunny Abbotsford, and RE/MAX Mission. And slowly built my business up that way, and became, with the help of all these people, because I'm very fortunate, became successful. And these people have looked after me for the last, this is my 29th year. We're gearing up for our 30th year next year.
I'm just curious, like Fern, are you able to deal with people from all over the area or around the world, or how does that work for a mortgage broker?
We can deal with people around the world, and actually just recently I sent Bill a referral, and the gal has a property up in the interior that she's thinking of putting mortgage on, and this gal lives out of town. She lives in Mexico. So,
That is out of town. Cerveza, por favor.
See.
Sí.
So she lives in Mexico, and she and I sort of had a little conversation about real estate, and it wasn't in her best interest to sell her property up in the interior right at this time. The income for her would sustain a lifestyle for her in Mexico. So Bill followed it up, and I'm sure that everything is coming together for this gal, and she can just sort of rely on her real estate to support herself, because she's a baby boomer. And that was the best advice I could give her.
Here's a strange question for both of you, and you alluded to this. Let's say that somebody wants to make a move, but it's not in their best interest. Bill, would you ever tell them it's not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a fellow that was in yesterday. They're buying a to be built. So it means it's not going to be. They can't take possession until next January.
Right. Was it a condo or townhouse?
It's a townhouse.
Yeah.
His wife is in school, and she's
out of detention.
No, she takes some training, so she's going to be graduating in July. He's going to take another job, so he'll have 2 full-time jobs. And I'm suggesting to them not to do this because they're a little bit early in the process. They're new to Canada. They've been here probably 5 to 8 years. Both working hard. They said, you know what, Bill? We hear your advice. I talked to my realtor, the realtor's on the file. I said, this is what I'm thinking. I'm saying not to do this. He says, I'm telling them not to do this. And they've decided to go ahead and do it. At the same time, you have to look at from a different perspective, even though he and I are both involved with the business. If these people can come all the way from some other country and reestablish themselves to the point where they're at this level, who am I to stand in their way of actually doing this next step? Even though if we're all Canadians doing this, that may be a very risky move. They have already made a move from halfway around the world and reestablished themselves. So to get themselves established to this next level probably is going to work.
And where were they when they heard about British Columbia?
I believe they were in just east of Sri Lanka, which is Ceylon.
Oh, cool. So people know us all around the world.
Exactly.
And Fern, you must deal with international buyers all the time. Do you ever tell somebody, hey, it's not worth your time to move here because there's nothing to sell you?
Well, the people that I found, but they come from around the world, different immigrants and stuff too, they think differently than what we do, and they want to get that toehold in real estate. And, I could stand back and look at it as a Canadian and the Canadian Fraser Valley realtor, and to me, it may not be in their best interest. And yes, I always voice my opinion if they want it, but I'm not the one that's signing that document.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm dealing with our own people here, a lot of times, exactly what Bill was saying too, that if a person would postpone it, what part comes into that equation that Bill's talking about too, especially with our young people, is that they don't necessarily consider within the next 2 or 3 years they might be expanding their family and have a baby or two, and then it puts a financial strain that a lot of people from around the world, that they are used to a financial strain. We in our first world country are not really used to a financial strain, so the marriage breaks down almost immediately. And so yes, I take that kind of thing into consideration when I'm working with buyers.
Well, your real estate agent and your mortgage broker are like very much confidential kind of people. You can tell them everything. You tell them nothing, right?
Yeah, we're involved.
Oh, I could write a book.
Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Hey, before we go this morning, Fern, I understand you got a couple of great listings to share with us.
Yeah, I do. Actually, you know what? Last week I was talking about the condominium that I've got in Cloverdale. It's close to the casino. Now, we hadn't sold it. We'd had 3 offers on it which fell through because we didn't have a depreciation report. Now we have the depreciation report in my hot little hand, so this will make it a lot more saleable. The address is 5909 177B, and it is a 2-bedroom condo. It's $215,000. It has 2 bathrooms as well. It's 1153 square feet, and you don't often get condos of that size now. And it small complex.
And if somebody would like to get some more information, I guess you just give Fern a buzz, right, Fern?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just give Fern a call.
I can be reached at 6.
Oh, I think we just kind of lost you there for a second.
That's okay.
Oh no, I got you again.
All right, what's your phone number, Fern? Sorry.
There you go. I'm racing right out to show it. I can be reached at 604-790-9066. It's 604-790-9066. If you want to go on my website, which is fern@smart.com, then you'll see all about the listing.
And before you call Fern, you might want to get a hold of Bill.
604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Well, I think Fern is hiding in the coffee room right now. God bless her. Cerveza por favor and all that kind of stuff.
I think so.
Yeah, but so that means if you and I go out there and take Dwayne and we get all the open house signs down,
we gotta get them all.
Put them back in the van, come back, maybe we can have some lunch with Fern. What do you think, Fern?
I'm getting a jump on Super Bowl.
Atta girl. She's going to go for that 525 gallons
You
of
know
beer.
what? It's good. It's really a good thing that Monday is a holiday.
You think?
Absolutely.
For a lot of people.
I'll
Absolutely.
I'll take you out on that. Hey, you guys have a great week. We'll chat again next Saturday morning.
You betcha.
Thank you, Fern. Enjoy the football game. Enjoy your weekend. Bill, same to you. Welcome back. Dwayne, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening to Radio Real Estate. I'll talk to you Tuesday morning at 7 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah, real early after a holiday on CIL 650. Enjoy your day. It's Tom Lucas. Thank you. Bye.